are live. Hello and welcome to today's session of programming our AI game app. Last time we finished doing the function calling. We did a couple of function calls with our hero UI communicator, which, well, it worked somehow, but I already tested around a bit and I had quite some problems. Last time I played, I got some action that I could do in the inventory, which was pretty weird, but we are not aiming for perfection here. We are just playing around, really. So the theme of today's session was going to be creating the ASCII art and comparing it to something like Stable Diffusion. And I did some work already today because I wasn't sure how that would work and I didn't want to lose too much time on the stream. So I added this Docker Compose service to our already existing Docker Compose file. So we have Ollama, and I also added Stable Diffusion with a web UI. We really don't need the web UI, but it was packaged with it. So I thought, well, why not? It's not a bad thing to have a UI to test around a bit and see if we get the same results. And I did a couple of modifications, but no really groundbreaking things. The main thing was I wanted to let it run on the GPU, and that worked pretty well. Let me see. I still have that. It's not running anymore, but I let it run. This is the web UI. And I just said, draw something with the word B. And then I clicked generate with all the default settings and it printed out something, right? And it's not important how good that looks. I generally don't like the images from Stable Diffusion, but it's the easiest way that I found to create images, right? Okay, but the problem was, the nice thing was it also ran in the GPU, which is a good thing in general. But as you can see, I only have 6 gigabytes of RAM in the GPU. And that is not enough for LLaMA 3.2 and Stable Diffusion to run in the same graphics card. So I have a problem because what I originally planned was I have the text part here, and here I draw some ASCII art, or in this case some other image. So it should run side by side, which is not possible on my graphics card. Then I thought, well, I'm a smart guy. I have a second laptop with also an NVIDIA graphics card. So I could run this Spring application on my laptop with Ollama on the NVIDIA GPU, and then just simply call the Stable Diffusion Docker container over the network. But this did not work. I just played around with it right now because the GPU that's installed on my second older laptop is not capable of using that. I think it's called Coupa technology. It's basically, I cannot run the Stable Diffusion stuff on the GPU. So that didn't work out as well. We can close that for good because I will never need it again. Okay, but I still have a problem because I can't really show you how that works. But I still want to try out to generate ASCII art. And maybe if we have time in the end, I want to try to start both of these containers at the same time because it somehow works, but I'm not sure. Maybe the stream breaks or something like that. Let's try the ASCII art first because we have to implement some stuff to realize that as well. And then we can move on to the next step. All right, so that's our plan for today. Oh, and I have ice cold coffee from this afternoon and I never got around drinking it, so here we go. Right, where do we start today? Yeah, as I said before, I added this in the Docker Compose file, so it's in the repository, but it only works with really big graphic cards. I don't know if there are any available. I don't know much about graphics cards and how much RAM they have. That is quite all right. Okay, what are we going to do? We look at the chat view. So we have this this possibility to call the prompt, and it streams the text and sets it as value in the text story. So what I would like to do first, actually, that's something I don't like in this way, is if it's the prompt is called, so the save button. Why is it the save button? It shouldn't. No, okay, that's the initial button, all right. So that's the save button, that's valid. But we want to have that one. Yeah, that's the text chat. Set title prompt, and if we press the enter key, then the prompt is called. I want to have a new function called not call prompt, but generate new story part, because that's more the way I want it to be. And we get a string with it. The hero communicator is a local member variable, so we don't need that. The prompt, basically. Is this a text prompt? Let's call it that at least. And of course, it still basically does the same here. Right? We just replace that. I should have done that earlier anyways. Why did I not do that? That is not very clean. All right. Yeah, and we also call that in this one case where we start our journey. Right, the initial prompt. That should be good. Can be replaced with qualifier. Oh, okay. Why not? So if we generate this new story, I would like to clear the text field. So yeah, this txt story clear. And do we save the previous prompts? I think we should. Maybe just in a local list for now. I should actually reconstruct the whole thing with a proper data structure and not just what I do here. Then let's do that really quickly. Okay, let's try a record again. Most of the times I'm using records and then I'm changing them to classes because I need them to be classes. But let's try a record again, and we want to have that the story, right? And in that there are some story parts, and this is actually just the text right now. And this one has a list of story parts. 1 second. Yeah. Story parts. Yeah, no, let's call it this. Great. I don't know if we need any more. I don't think so. We can make a constructor, right? Yes. I'm actually not sure. Yeah, it's not changeable, right? So we cannot assign that. Okay, whatever. We have a story, some story parts. Very easy. Maybe give the hero into this as well. Why not? It would be more closely packaged, I think. Yeah, because eventually I would like to have some title for the story as well and stuff like that. So that's very good. And if we create the hero, where is it created? Yeah, the hero communicator. This is great. After that, we define the story with a new story, a new array list, an empty one at that, and with the hero. Oh, here we go. And the hero is just a local variable now. Wonderful. And oh, that variable is not needed anywhere else. Kind of it's strange, but okay. Okay, but what we want is if we create a new story part, no, 1 second. Actually, we don't want to add the old story part here. We want to wait for the prompt to be finished and then add this as new story part. And how do we do this? Can we subscribe to the end of the message? Is that maybe another call? Wait a second. So there is a response. Can we do something with the response? Chat response? All right. Great. Yeah. Has finish reason. So get metadata. Is there something we can use? The model, rate limit, usage, cool stuff. But not what we came here for. So the chat client response, which package is that? Chat client, okay. Wait for finish, something like that. call stream returns values. Chat memory, we did that. Returning a chat response. And what can we do with the chat response? Tell me a joke, chat response. Wonderful. Entity. Well, that is actually quite crazy. I think I saw that with LangChain for J as well. The system simply prompts that. So if you want to receive actor films object back, then the actual prompt is changed so that it does not just simply say generate the filmography for random actor, but it also says put it in that specific format so I can pass that as JSON or something like that. It's I thought it's pretty flimsy. It's not very structured, not as structured as I would have thought. But apparently it works, and so the guys usually know what they are doing. So everything is fine here. All right, there are the chat responses. Okay, let's retort back to ChatGPT, because it's just an easy way to find stuff out. Right, let's try that one. How do I wait for the finishing of a client call with Spring AI in this code? Bam. Boom. You're using subscribe. Now process the responses synchronously. Heh. No. I don't want that. Do on complete. Now that is something I like. Do on next and do on complete. That sounds lovely. So the chat client response has not only subscribe, but do on next. Very nice. This works. No, well, it doesn't break. So do on complete. So do something if this is complete. And that is actually exactly what we want. Wonderful. What do we want? We want to have the value of this story added as a new story part. So that's what we want. That's the first thing we want. We probably want more at some point. Wonderful. So let's say this all works. Then we have the separate story parts. And this is much clearer. This is very good. And this has also another reason. So if this is done, then we can do another call. Yeah, I don't like that name at all. Anyways, if this is complete, we want to have another call that summarizes this text that was just generated, the story, and extract some kind of image from it, or a prompt for an image, right? And then if that is generated, we generate the image. That's actually how we have to do it. I don't think there's a better way. So let's do it. So this generate new story part, I think actually that we can put this complete thing over here, because that makes much more sense. We generate this new prompt here, and we don't need to call this, because this is not a generic prompt, it's a specific thing. We could also do that as a service actually. Why not? Right, then we could abstract that a little bit and not have the whole logic here. That's something I don't like at all. Okay. So we can do this as a yeah, why not? Let's make it AI communicator. AI service, right? Very, very simple. And it actually just does this, except for this. I don't like it. And the whole UI stuff as well. Yeah. Okay, I think we have to pick it apart a little bit. We'll do that. You know what? Just copy the whole thing. And I think there's this service, right? That's what it is, really. And we make that public, of course. And it, well, it has to have another name. And we actually just give it a prompt and then what's the difference between a callable and a runnable? A task that returns a result. Oh, okay. A runnable does not give a result. Does this? No, it doesn't give a result. So we give it a runnable. Actually, I have some bad experiences with the runnables, and it's almost like with records. Most of the times, if I use a runnable, eventually I end up using something else. But I like to start with a runnable because it basically just says there's some function to call and do that. And it does the on next. Yeah, on next. And the other thing was a runnable. Well, actually, we need this one as well. You see, okay. We get, what is that? An action? Is that what it is? No. You keep forgetting the functional call for something with one parameter. I have to Google that. At work, I actually have a bookmark for it because I can't remember the name. Functional interfaces, Java. I think that should be enough. Function. Yeah. Oh no, that a functional interface. It's that if you define it, we could define it actually, but it would be easier to have a. Yeah, wait. Come on, let's do it. I think it's not a bad thing because it makes the thing more readable. the on next function. And it does actually return nothing. Apply. That's the thing. And it takes this response, which is oh no, this is all getting out of hand. This does something, all right. And we want to have just this. That should be enough. Let's go back to that one. What's the type? A chat client response. Of course. I should have known. Response. Yes. Response. So it does something with this. And next, do this. That is great. We don't need that anymore, but we can't stop here. And we can also define something on, but if you do it for this one, then we also can do it for the on complete function. And there's nothing. There's nothing on complete without the function. And you do this. That's actually nice. It's maybe a bit more readable. So this is the tool's called. What does it need? I think it's just an object, right? Yeah. So we take this as well. Tools. Wrong, comma. Here we go. And the chat client. Well. What is the chat client? Can we initialize that? Yeah. That would be wonderful if we initialize that in the AI service, but we don't want to have the chat memory on at all times. Yeah. How do we solve that? Or how do we elegantly use this? Do we keep a chat memory here? Or the whole client? No, the client is a bad idea, but the memory wouldn't be that bad, I think. So we have the memory here. We started, or we have the chat memory in the story. No, that's a bad idea. That's a bad idea, I think. You know, for now, we keep the chat client here. So if you call the AI service, but it is really strange. It's not a good look to give that with it. But we could also create the chat client here. Yes, that might be good. So we have two options. Generate, create chat client. And we could also say if we want to have it with memory or without. And then the chat client is given here. I think that's all right way to do it. Yeah. So this way we don't have to have the chat model here anymore. That's good, because that doesn't belong here at all. Let's create this. No, wait a second. Here we go. Now let's do that. And that's auto-wired. So we have this, we have that. And yes. We do this, we have the builder now. And if it says with memory, then we do this with the builder. It returns a builder probably. The builder is builder default. Yeah, well, here we go. And either way, we return the builder build results. Okay, that could be something good. And we only build this here, because otherwise we don't need the chat memory anyways. Now we can create the chat client, we give this here, and this is not happy. It's a consumer, man. It's a consumer. Still, we can cast this one. Super chat client response. Well, that's some thing we have to do, right? Extend consume. Oh yeah, is that possible? Sure. I don't think that's a good idea at all. But we can. So this is basically the same. Why not just do this? No target method found. Well, yes, this is the target method. We don't need it then, actually, right? Yeah. So everybody's happy here. Okay, it does automatically throw the functional interfaces down here. And what is this going to do? The runnable. Okay, so we extend this with runnable. Yep. That's fun. That is funny. And we can remove that actually again. But it's not bad to have that definition here. That's good. Cool. Chat client, we do something here. Okay, now we don't want the, well, we need the whole chat client, but we also need the AI service. So we let that get injected. And then, well, after setting this one, then we can also get the chat client going and say, well, AI service, give me that chat client with memory, please. Well, okay. Well, why not? This looks good. I think it really does look good. It's way better than before. It's abstracted a lot of things. But now, for the masterpiece, you know, this is the chat client. What do we need? The prompt. Here we go. What else do we need? The tools. Here we go. What's next? Ah, yeah, the next function. So this is this one. Actually, we want to have that with us. Yes. All right. And last one is this one. Yeah, we want the whole thing here. Cool. Does that look better? Well, maybe. Not a lot. That's perfectly fine. That's perfectly fine. I'm not sure if I'm reading the AI thread. It could be that we need this as well. Let's just do it. Okay. Again, I'm spending so much time on refactoring actually. this is not needed anymore. But still, I think this is stuff that makes the project better than before, more understandable, and that's something we should strive for. Okay, let's just try this and hope that it works. So the model is running. We have some errors? No. Okay, the model is, yeah, so if you're looking at the containers, I have the Stable Diffusion deactivated because it shouldn't run. But the Ollama is running and doing something right now. Let's take a look at our local host, refresh that whole site, and we get another Hans. And now it should start up, do something. I hope. Otherwise, there could be a problem. Just not impossible. Not a lot is going on. 0 CPU. This is not good, but I think I might have a problem. Well, I'm not sure. So we have that generate new story part, and we added this in the initial prompt. But nothing is actually done here. Let's simply debug, right? Because something is not working at all. And it's not even, I could understand that the output is not sent to the UI for some reason because we did some refactoring, but that it's not even sent is strange for me. Yes, here we go. Hans is back. And this starts. This okay, what is this string? Okay, I thought maybe I'm clearing this the text story, and by that nothing is sent. So we don't want that. Okay, so far so good. No problems here. We want this. Tools, stream, do on next, do on complete, and I think we're missing simply subscribe. Yeah, I had that problem before. Do stick with subscribe and do on complete or return the flux to the caller. So if you're not calling subscribe, this whole thing is not called. That's actually something that I experienced before with this flux stuff. That's what we want. Is there something in the documentation maybe that makes it better understandable? Downloading the sources. Yep, all right. Subscribe to this flux and request unbounded demand. This version doesn't specify any consumption behavior for the event of change, especially no error. So other should usually be preferred. Well, what's the other version? Probably something with consumer if there is some. The consumer to. Oh yeah. We did that. Okay, but it's basically. I think the request unbounded demand is the thing we are looking for. So we edit this, we do the debugging, and then hope for the best. Oh, we're still far from creating some ASCII art. That's kind of annoying, disappointing. All right, we are running. Let's go back to our host. Hans is still in action. Nope, that's not what I meant. Yeah, let's just go through it. Let's see. There's something going on. Okay. Okay, so I think action is being executed and we can lean back and enjoy the show. Yeah. While this is running, we can already think about our next steps. But yeah, I wanted to do a commit. This is actually just refactoring. we spent over half an hour just on refactoring. But like I said, it's useful for our future. We have some story parts, and most of all, we have an event to listen to, basically this one. And that's something we really need later. Good. How far along are we? Not far enough. Okay, so if we subscribed on that done event, what do we want? Actually, I don't like this at all, but well, let's put that in a story part. What? I'm missing something. Yeah. Do we have to do that in the UI? Yeah, I think we do. Just because we want that text from... I don't like this. But I think there's no other way. Hey, story. Yeah, okay, we have some story part. So that's good. That's what we wanted. Let's try another thing. Compilate. Okay, it compiled, but it has an error. Of course it has an error because I wasn't done. My good friend. Right. Access this, do this. Yeah. Right. And then, yeah, we're done so far. We want to have this here added. And now we want to continue. Here we go. Good. Go not. Something is not working at all here with the function calling. I think that's not working properly. I should actually call that try that with Quarkus and LangChain4j or J. I can still use Spring, but LangChain4j I think is what I see now is that this seems to be more advanced and better maintained than Spring AI, but that's just my not objective, subjective view. Here we go. We have our story part now. What do we want with the story part? We want to generate a new image. Yes, and we need a prompt for that. And we actually, let's use ChatGPT for that. Create a prompt that takes some text, extracts the quintessence from it, and writes a prompt for to generate an image for that text. No, that essence. It should be I want to have it to be very not simple. Simple is the wrong word. Very clear. It should be a very clear and picture with minimal with minimal objects on it. Easy to draw and understand for an AI and human. This does not look like a good prompt. Given a passage of text, extract its quintessence. It used that word. I think there's a better word for it. The single most essential concept, emotion, or idea it conveys. Then write a short, vivid prompt for generating a clear, minimal image that visually represents that essence. The image should be easy to understand, containing only the most necessary elements to express the idea with no clutter or a complex scenery. Avoid metaphor unless it is visually obvious. Nice! Focus on simplicity and clarity, suitable for both humans and AI to grasp at a glance. Nice. I like it. Okay. Private final static string. So this is the create image prompt. Oh, well. Oh, that's good. Just break it down so it's more readable. And this is enough. Cool. Okay. And now we again call this extract that. But yeah. No, extract that. That's good. Refactor, extract the method. Do on finish one. Do often handle finished story part. All right, that's good. Right? I think so. And you know what? I hate this. So we put it here. And then we get this story part as string. Here we go. That's something I can live with. Something that is easily changed if we want that. Oh, all right. Yeah. Hop. Okay. Could you format that? Yes. Yep. We are missing something here. Nope, we're not. Good. Now, as I said, we want to generate. No, we don't want to generate a new story part. We want something else. We want to generate Actually, what we want to have is generate ASCII art. Right? Yeah. And we don't need any function calling. We don't need, well, we need the onComplete function. If this is done, then do something. Don't use the tools. Ah, yes, and now we need another chat client. Maybe we just create a new one each time we call this, because we don't need memory, right? And I don't think it's a big deal to create a new chat client. Let's move that away. And here we go. So we subscribe to that and simply wait for completion. Yes. I like it. Here we go. And we want this AI service to generate ASCII art. For what? Well, yeah, use a new false. Not sure if this is a good idea, but we'll do it right away. I think that it's the same thing I say over and over again. Not sure if this is a good idea. Still. Create an image prompt. Ah, yes. And you know what? We want to have that story part as string in there. And what we don't have here is given the following passage of text. Text. And now let's just go. Yeah, that could work. I think that was the same here, right? With the hero name. Yeah, named as. Great. So far, so good. Once again, what do we need here? OnComplete function. If this is completed, what do we do? If the prompt for the new image is completed, well, if it's ASCII art, then we simply take that string, oh yeah, and put it in this text area. Do we have that? Yes. Oh yeah. yeah. Let's see. Here we go. Whoop. We are no, okay. We have to have this as well now. This looks good. It's simple. Do we need to do that? Probably. Now, the text ASCII art set value. We don't want to add text, we just want to set the complete value to the result. And in this case, this is a bit dumb, because this onComplete is runnable. It does not give us any response, and we do want a response. But ChatGPT to the rescue, I think it did something anyways here. Do on next, do on complete. That's not something we want. We don't want to wait for this. We actually want this asynchronous call. And how do we do it? You know what? We could just build something in here and do onComplete function is not a runnable anymore. It's actually onComplete with result function. And this is actually a consumer of the response. Well, of a string, it's just a response. And here we do on next. We make a string builder. And every time this is called, the S append R ChatResponse. And what do they do? One second. How do we handle this other thing? ChatResponse, get result, get output, get text. Whew. All right. Let's take the whole thing. Right. Yeah. Response is good. Why not name things right? We append that, and then onComplete, we create a new function that is actually, we create a runnable that is actually, calling this onComplete with with S, toString. Whew. Received text. Whew. Right, so on every next, we build this, we add this, and onComplete, we have our own little event that has the response with it. Whew. All right. This is interesting, but what I missed is, so because I wanted it to work in two ways, so this does create an image prompt, but we actually want to have the same thing with ASCII, create ASCII image, ASCII art, right? Prompt. And let's let that generate as well. A colleague of mine mentioned that being nice to the AI actually costs a lot of money in the whole scheme of things, because you actually just add a lot of tokens to the text you're prompting. And so being nice to the AI may actually cause not global warming, but heat up the world a bit and heat up your prices, stuff like that. I thought that was very funny, but I like to be nice to it anyways, if I think of it. Please rewrite the prompt to generate ASCII art as good as possible with LLaMA 3.2. It can be very simple art, but it should be beautiful and recognizable. Let's try. Prompts optimized. Text. Yeah. Okay, generate a piece of simple but beautiful ASCII art based on that essence. The art should be visible, recognizable, stuff like that. Great. Let's do it. Let's just break that down a bit. Given the following piece of text, blah, blah, blah. Okay, and we actually, right now, we want to have this one. But it's basically the same, and this is handled, this is done, and if we are done, then ASCII art is drawn to this one. It could be really cool if it works. If it doesn't, well, shit. Hotspot failed. Okay. Don't care that much. You can restart. That is something that's not a problem. And of course, our GPU is unloaded again, so we have to wait a couple of seconds. Right. Just loaded that, I think. All right, but we see some stuff here. So the text is shown here. It is cleared anytime. We added it to a story with our hero. That's great because at some point we can make a game out of it. Could be actually the game could be the overarching container of this whole thing. Then it's not the story, but the game. We could do that in the next time. Then a story is generated, yeah, and then some graphics are generated. And let's see, I did some tests with creating ASCII art, and it turned out to be really bad. But let's see. What we did not is change the font here, and I think that could be a real problem. What would be the best font for it? What? No. How could I change Vaadin text area to a font that is most suitable for ASCII art? It should be something like Consolas or Korean New, but yeah. Monospace, that's the family. What do we want? Okay. Hey, did we get some results? Yeah. But not here. What? No executable code. So it's probably old code. But let's add this new font family as well. I think that's good. Where is this defined? Here we go. Great. And let's start new. And this time it should be really fast because it's loaded in our graphics chip. And I think time for today is already up. So at least we got to generate some ASCII art, and maybe next time I will find a way to generate some proper art. Okay. Some proper art, some proper images. Yeah, I like the speed of that. Great. Yes. What is the response? Yeah, okay, so it has some fluff around it. So it says this is that, and then it waits a bit, but it should be fine anyways. No, wait a second, that's the response. Yeah, okay. Prompt to generate ASCII art. And then I think we missed one step. Yeah. So we let it generate a prompt to create. Oh yeah. Okay. This is a step too far. It works. But what we actually want is okay, now generate a prompt to generate the ASCII art directly and not generate a prompt to generate ASCII art. Let's see what comes out here. Analyze. Yeah. This makes much more sense. Great. Let's do this. Because I think this does make sense to summarize that and then put it into an image generating machine. But this, on the other hand, does not make sense at all. This does not make sense at all. Please indent that. Yes. And insert text here is this. And we are good to go again. Let's try it. But the art was, the font was all right. Of course, it would be cool if it's side by side, so it's generating the text and generating the image at the same time, but that does not work because we have to wait for the text to be done to get analyzed. Hello? Yes? Refresh it. Let's do somebody else. The SEP. Wonderful. And now, give me something great. Nope. Oh, all right. Let's put that away. Okay, so there are some paths. Follow the overgrown left part. But why does it write so much text? Can we adjust that quickly? LLaMA 3.2 does some ASCII art, but also returns some text explanation with it. Write a prompt to make it return only the art. And usually I think that is, you achieve that by setting some kind of format. Okay. Okay, that is much simpler. Let's try it. Now, can it reload? Yeah, I think it does. Hans. Here you go. Okay. What is this? What is this, you might ask? It could be... What could it be? So if we add a line here, maybe put that here as well. All right, that could be a house. Let's see. You stand at the edge of a dense fog-covered forest. You can feel things reaching, a faint flickering. Into the forest. Okay, let's try to follow the glow. Mist swirls around you, soft eternal light. What? Let's change it this way so we could see something. Yeah? What is this? Some glow. Maybe it's a door. Maybe it is a door. Examine the tree. Maybe it's a tree. You take a closer look. Okay. What? Is there a cat anywhere? Decipher their meaning, but they appear to be. As you study the tree, you notice a small inscription beneath the branch. Ancient one lies the key. Is this a key? Okay, let's open the door. Oh, all right. Some past breakpoints. Let's delete all of those. Oh man, did we take damage now? Oh, this is a creature sitting down, right? These are 2 feet. This is some kind of bench. Beyond a narrow corridor with magical energy like ozone and honey. What? How does ozone smell like? Interesting. Emanates the walls, the air is filled always with the glow. But this, I don't know what what this should be. Cast illumination spell, so we should see some illumination. Yes, this is illumination at its best. I can see that. Absolutely. All right. I think we are done for today. So this works flawlessly, I would say. What? Why is this? I added that before. Oh no. I did not send the part out. Yeah, okay. So we did not just some refactoring. We did some refactoring. Added first try of ASCII art. But at least that, right? We did some ASCII art. It's generated. It is working. It is working not in a very good way. It doesn't look nice. It seems to have no connection to this. Hey, maybe we should add to the prompt that it should say what it drew. That would be nice to see. All right, but that is it for today. Like I said, next time I would like to try. Hey, Where's our Docker? I would like the Stable Diffusion web UI. I would, without the web UI, just create an image and send it to Vaadin, basically just on that spot where this is right now. And maybe we get it to work after all. Great. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoy this live coding. I had some fun, definitely. And I learned something as well. That is always good. So yeah, please like and subscribe, that stuff, if you do enjoy my content. And